So perhaps you could tell us who you are.
I'm Alejandro, and I'm part of the team here for the autonomous robot and at variable gravities.
And what's your major?
My major is electrical engineering.
Okay.
And I'm a senior.
When did you first meet Dan?
With Dan, I met him my sophomore year, so it's been a while. And then he told me that he had gone already to this program, and then I told him and then he said that he was thinking about doing it again, and that he was contacting someone for a project. So I told him if I could also be part of it. And then after begging him for a while, he said yeah.
So how did you get involved?
I started to catch up a little because they were already started, and after that I started with a little bit of the programming. And first of all, we had to look at how we were going to control the drone. So we started looking at different firmwares and different ways to control the drone. So that was like the first thing I started doing. And then we found a couple of ones that we didn't have control of the motors in low levels enough so that we could have like really low pulses, because we thought that in zero gravity we would need to have really low forces for it to move. And afterwards we found one, and then I started to get involved in the control algorithm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So what has this week been like? What was it like when you first arrived?
This week, this has been very exciting. I was very excited when I got here, and everything here says NASA on it, so I'm reminding about it constantly. But it's been very tiring too, because we need to finish a lot of things. As I said, I was responsible for the control part, but then a lot of the building the structure wasn't done, and it was a lot more work than we thought it was. So then I had to put more time into that instead, and so the the control part wasn't done, so we had to finish it here. So we haven't slept much.
What were the NASA guys like?
They were pretty cool. They were helpful whenever we needed help, but they were strict also, because they had to be, because of the environment we were in.
So what kind of things were they strict about?
We, especially like leaving tools around, we had a small incident about that we left a couple bolts, but it's understandable because those we were in a hangar, and those could get on the engines of the plane, which is very dangerous. So, and small things like that, like we had to wear earplugs when we're around the planes, which reasonable stuff, but that they have to be careful about.
Mm-hmm. And so what about the actual flight?
The flight was awesome.
So we started in the back of the plane.
Yeah, I mean, we started by sitting on the back of the plane like a normal plane, but except that about 3/4 of the plane are empty, and then they don't have any seats. All right. So we started sitting on the back of the plane, which has seats like a normal plane, but then like the other half of the plane, it's empty and it has no seats, but only has the experiments of the other people. So then we took off sitting on the plane like a normal plane. Once we were in the air, we were allowed to stand up and to walk towards our experiments. And then when we were there, we lay down for the first pull up for the 2G.
And what was the transition like from 2G to 0G, that first one?
That transition was interesting. We went up into 2G, and then when we started, we were laying down on the floor, so we wouldn't get motion sickness. But then when we started going down, and the gravity went down as we started going to 2G, everybody started floating a little bit, which is what I was expecting. They told us to move a little bit when we started to get to 2G, and then to try to get up, holding to the wall and everything, because every movement you do will send you floating around. So then I was just laying there, and I felt my body that started floating, but then I felt that my hair was stuck to the floor, because apparently there was some Velcro on it. So then I just felt that the rest of my body started floating up, and then the world turned around, and I found myself upside down in the plane, and then people tried to get me right side up again.
So then you hear feet down coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. So walk me through what happened in the next few seconds.
Yeah, after that I was just trying to get up again, but it was very difficult because for a moment I lost. I thought that the parabola would be a little longer, so I thought it wasn't a problem that I was upside down, and I was just thinking, I was just looking around to see how that was, but then I felt the people started turning me around, and then they set feet down, so then I realized that we were going to have gravity again, and I was still upside down. So then I got turned around, and everything was fine.
So the way the experiment was configured, we needed you to be at the laptop, right, to start the experiment.
Yeah. So after that, there were straps on the floor. So what I did after that was I stuck my foot in one of the straps, and then when we went to zero gravity again, I felt that my hair got stuck in the Velcro again, but then it wasn't a problem because I had my foot on the strap, so I just pulled myself upwards, and I just flew upwards towards the experiment, and I could get started there. And then we had to do some of the modifying of the code while we were there. So supposedly we needed to like sit down or lay down for the two G's, but the zero gravity parts were very short. So then I decided to just stay standing up and then try to code a little bit during the zero gravity and during the double gravity, which was a bit of a challenge, but it was pretty interesting.
So I'm not sure whether to call it hacking at 30,000 feet or programming or debugging at 30,000 feet, but not many people can say that.
Yeah. I was telling my friends, like, look, I'm coding well in zero gravity.
So what were you changing?
I was trying to change the motor, the motor speed, because as I said before, we were thinking that we need a really low speed for the motors, which I assume it would have been true if our quadcopter would have been not constrained, but it was constrained with PVC pipes, so it would only move and rotationally and vertically. So we realized that those pipes have a lot of friction, that we thought it was going to be less, so the drone wasn't moving. And so I was trying to change the speed of the motors and to try to get the drone to move.
But it turns out that compiling code at 30,000 feet in 0G is not as, or 2G is not easy.
Yeah, it's not as easy as on your couch.
Okay, so at the end of the flight we had some Martian gravity and lunar gravity, and a chance to have some fun with that.
Yeah, by the end of the flight, we gave ourselves a little time to like play around a bit. So for a moment, Dan had a bottle of water, and then I told him to like let go of it, and he let go, and it was falling twice as fast. So it was pretty interesting. Then we started doing a couple push-ups in double gravity, which was pretty hard, but fun. And then on the Martial and lunar gravity, we started jumping and hopping around like astronauts in the movies, which was very fun.
So things changed for the second day though, because you went back and did some late night hacking on the code.
Yeah, we came back after the flight, and then I stayed up all afternoon working on it until the night. And actually I went to sleep like at 4 a.m. to wake up like at 6 for the other two people in the group to fly. And then they had a better experience with the experiment, because there's since I already increased the motor speed and did some changes in the algorithm, theirs was able to fly some more. And I believe it docked a couple times like it was expected.
Great,
so.
Great. So 2 more questions for you. First of all, what advice or words would you have for a student that's just about to enter an engineering program or thinking about coming to UIUC? So if you could speak to your younger self perhaps, what would you say to let's say a freshman?
So freshman, I would tell them to be dedicated, because it is a bit difficult, but it's very rewarding. So if they want good results, they have to work hard for it. And there is a lot of competition. Like if you come to UIUC, you might be one of the best students in the class, but then everybody who goes there is one of the best ones. So there's a lot of competition, and it's a little harder. so you have to work very hard, and but also have fun.
And my final question is, what did you get out of this whole experience, and what will you take away?
I guess I like this a lot. It's probably one of the nicest thing I've done, and it's very few people have done it. They told us also that more people have climbed the Mount Everest than people have been in the zero gravity plane. So this is very exciting, and I feel really excited about what I do, and that I'm able to do things that allow me to do things that other people can't. And that I feel that the profession that I chose is probably the right one, and I'm liking it. Yeah.
Great. Any other comments?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.